Hey there everybody, hope your day's going well. Jacared with Old School Gaming here, and welcome back to another Wild Wednesday. Yeah, so after that last one, I definitely need something that hopefully will not be nearly as ungodly frustrating. Anyway, so for this Wild Wednesday, the theory itself comes from someone named Roley. I have no idea who in the hell that is, but yeah, and apparently, Glados is both mother and father to Chells, the main protagonist of the Portal series. I never really got any maternal or paternal vibes from Glados, but then again, it has been a very, very long time since I even played the game, so who knows, I could be wrong. So I can get right into this theory right after I cover my own ass. Do not harass anyone I feature in Wild Wednesdays with what I say. My thoughts and my opinions are mine and mine alone. If you wish to let them know that I've done a commentary on them, go right ahead, but yeah, let's get into this. Apparently, Glados is Chells' mother and father. Should be interesting, let's hope.
Let me start by saying I know why Ratman from the Portal games went mad. My guess is that he tried to make a theory video with facts from both Portal 1 and 2 all crammed into a video in a sense that was both true to the secret story and didn't miss out any details, then edited all that together and realised that nobody is going to watch your fucking long ass video, so you delete it to teach yourself a lesson. But the thing is, it's not the first time you've made a video in its entirety only to delete it because it's not viable to a large audience, so what have you really learned?
Well, the way I see it, if you have a longer video, just leave it up. Hell, just take my series on Super Mario World. Most of those videos are actually pretty lengthy, but they've gotten barely any views. I still leave them up because why the hell not? I put enough effort into those, and I don't know. I honestly don't know if they will ever get any attention, but hell, if they do, they are there. And okay, and who's Ratman? What are you talking about? I'm confused. Are you trying to make a reference to the comics? I don't know what in the hell's going on. Please continue.
Make more videos. Make more videos. X plus Y equals Y fucking not. More videos. The cake is a pie.
Okay, what in the hell was that? What in the hell is that all about? Or is that supposed to be a reference to something else yet again? Except this time, I've absolutely no idea what it even could be a reference to. Looked like you had a cake on the whiteboard, but what the hell? What the hell is going on here? Does this have anything to do with the theory? What in the hell is going on? Please, explain it to me.
Okay, internet fuckers, here's the abridged version, concentrated into its holy goodness. Before we start, I want to get some feedback from the subscribers. I'm going to be introducing a Patreon to the channel as it'd help out tons, but I don't want it to be too divisive. So my question is, should I have no rewards other than getting like a bit of a better place to talk directly to me and obviously other patrons, or should I offer something like early access to videos? Anyway, I'd appreciate your input on this, so let me know your ideas in the comments.
Well, I have no idea who you are. In fact, this is the first video I've seen of you, but if you want some input, I'm more than happy to provide it. If you're going to create a Patreon, definitely, at the very minimum, create a week early access. At the very minimum. And if you want to add, other rewards for higher tiers, then yeah, go right ahead and do whatever. Yeah, but at the very least, just have, a week early access. Maybe, because from what I know of Patreon, you have to have at least 3 tiers, and maybe maybe have a, like the first tier, like, oh hey, you can, vote on things that I do. And only you can vote on things I do if you support, at least $1. If you support $5, you get week early access. If you support $10, you get, of course, everything else and something extra. I mean, if you want to do a Patreon, and if you have an audience that's willing to support you on Patreon, then yeah, that's essentially what you can do. Yeah, but we are a minute and a half into your video, and are we going to get into the theory, or are you going to keep rambling on about random stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with the theory? Well, let's find out.
To prove that Glados is both Chells' mother and father, the theme of this video, we're going to look into the characters and events involved. Now, because I'm a fucking stud, I'm going to do Glados and Chell at the same time. Chell can start things off. The things we know about her aren't that detailed. We can guess she might be a dumpy little fucker, as discussed in our Is It Possible to Have Real Life Portal Boots video. I'll just pop the thumbnail for that video up on the screen so you can see how sexy that is, but don't worry about watching that yet. I'll put a link to it in the usual places if you haven't seen it yet. But the only things we do know is she's called Chell and female. So let's fill in some of those missing details, shall we? Chell's origin is hinted at throughout the game, like this Bring Your Daughter to Work Day science project stand that has the name Chell for all to see.
Well, we're finally getting into the theory, and I don't remember that little science poster thing, three-sided thingamajig, whatever the hell it's called. But that is kind of interesting. I mean, it doesn't really say that Glados is both mother and father to Chell. Just maybe Chell was the daughter of any of the researchers at whatever. Oh, Aperture. Right. Forgot the name of the facility, but yeah. Chell could have been the daughter of any one of the Aperture scientists, not exactly Glados, but, we're just barely starting, so, if there's proof that Chell is apparently the daughter of Glados, then, yeah, let's hear what you gotta say.
Turning to the comic shows us that Chell's surname has been redacted from the Aperture system. That right there is a huge red flag. Who would have the authority to keep a surname out of the system, and why would they do that?
I've got nothing. Why would you want to redact someone's surname? That, I don't know. Like, maybe, just maybe, like, whoever Chell's parents are, maybe they are, maybe they're one of Aperture's main sponsors, and they don't want their name, or they don't want it to be known that, oh hey, we're essentially donating so much money, we're also putting our daughter into the program. Maybe they don't want other people to know that. That could be something. But anyway, back to you.
Well, I'll offer why, as it's the same reason I think we could get a third Portal game. Okay, I'll be honest, I hope we get a third Portal game, and it's the main reason I made this whole video.
Oh, please, there'll never be a Portal 3. Don't you know that no one at Valve knows how to count the 3? There's Half-Life, Half-Life 2. Then Half-Life 2 Episode 1, Half-Life 2 Episode 2, Left 4 Dead 2, Portal 2. Yeah, no one at Valve knows what comes after 2. They just keep counting 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, I gave up a long time ago on there ever being a 3 of anything coming from Valve. So, you might want to just get used to that as well.
You see, one of my theories is that someone at Aperture Science was a spy for Black Mesa. They were leaking info to Cave's rivals, and that's why he was run up for them for so long. He even mentions how they stole his stuff.
Greetings, friend. I'm Cave Johnson, CEO of Aperture Science. You might know us as a vital participant in the 1968 Senate hearings on missing astronauts. And you've most likely used one of the many products we invented, but that other people have somehow managed to steal from us. Black Mesa can eat my bankrupt...
I'm even going to go one further and say it was his assistant Caroline who was leaking secrets.
Really? Caroline? Cave Johnson's assistant Caroline was the one leaking secrets? I really don't think so. I mean, don't get me wrong, Caroline was a little ditzy, but she was very loyal to Cave Johnson and Aperture by extension. There's no way she would leak secrets. I'm sure that, I mean, hell, like at work, I'm forced to change the password to when I log onto the computer every 90 goddamn days. And the thing is, I don't even deal with that, like some of the stuff that other people deal with. And, like some of the other people, yeah, I can definitely understand, yeah, you should probably be changing your password every 90 days, just in case. But as for my side of things, why do I have to change? I don't even deal with any personal information, so why do I constantly need to change my password every 90 goddamn days? Anyway. And thing is, at work, things are not nearly as advanced as Aperture Science. Aperture Science is a hell of a lot more advanced. So, even if Carol is a little ditzy, I don't really think there's any way possible she would be, leaking secrets to Black Mesa or any of the other possible competitors. Okay, and what does this have to do with Glados being Chells' mother and father? Come on now. If you're going to make the point and then explain the reasoning behind your point.
But honestly, Valve, I'll leave it up to you. I do think it should be called Portal 0.1 and set in the early Aperture setting, but other than that, I'll leave it up to you guys.
No. Don't do that. Don't give Valve another idea to go like, oh, hey, we can count 1, 2 again. Valve needs a teacher to tell them what comes after 2, not 1, 2 again for something else.
Also, if you want to pop a little companion cube or personality core called Roley in, that would be great, but no pressure. Now, other than a Black Mesa spy, the other type of person to hide a surname would be someone who shares that surname with an illegitimate daughter. That's a bit of a stretch, I know, but honestly, Valve just fudged shit together to make this story, so just roll with it.
You got a good point. I mean, if Chell is actually Cave Johnson's daughter, but there's, like an out of marriage type of thing, I'm not... I forget exactly when the, because I forget exactly what time period Portal's supposed to be taking place, because it kind of runs, or it was supposed to run in tandem with the Half-Life, the Half-Life 2 episodic ones, and I'm not sure exactly when the Cave Johnson and Aperture were supposed to be competing with Black Mesa, but I don't know, depending on the time period, it might be seen as an illegitimate child, kind of a taboo type of thing. So yeah, maybe, and hell, if anyone would have the authority to redact someone's name from the Aperture logs, it would definitely be Cave Johnson. So yeah, you've definitely got a point, and who knows how taboo it would have been for, an illegitimate daughter to suddenly show up out of nowhere. Anyway, back to you again.
So Cave Johnson could have had a secret daughter and hid a name off the system. He is also cold and driven enough to throw it into testing, so explains why she would be in the system in the first place. The link doesn't end there either. Cave Johnson doesn't just share a surname with his daughter, Chell Johnson. After all, what's in a name? Oh wait, the name Chell is derived from Rachel, a name from the Bible meaning little lamb or daughter. Oh shit, there is more in a name than we thought.
Yes, sometimes sometimes there's actually a meaning behind a name. And Chell, Rachel, yeah, I can definitely see that. I didn't really get much of a religious vibe from Cave Johnson. Then again, as I said, it's been so long since I played it. Maybe there was a religious vibe to him. Who knows?
But what else does Chell share with old Daddy Cave? Well, only a most important trait, tenacity. Think about it, all the thing Cave does in the face of logic, reason, and even ethics. None of that stands in his way because Cave never gives up. It's just not in his DNA.
Just a heads up, we're going to have a superconductor turned up full blast and pointed at you for the duration of this next test. I'll be honest, we're throwing science at the wall here to see what sticks. No idea what it'll do. Probably nothing. Best case scenario, you might get some superpowers. Worst case, some tumors, which we'll cut out.
It's as safe as possible now to assume Cave is Chell's father, but who is a mother?
Hold on for just a moment. Your video is titled, Glados is Chell's mother and father, as in one entity being mother and father. But now you're saying that, oh, Cave Johnson is her father, so who's the mother? Wait, are you saying that, you know, both Cave Johnson and Chell's mother were put into Glados? Like, two brains in one kind of meshed together? This isn't the Sybil system. This is Portal. But, who knows, you could be making a point here, so go ahead.
Again, logic dictates that the only person within reason for us to guess is Caroline, Cave's assistant. He does, after all, remark how attractive she is.
Isn't that right, Carolyn? She's the backbone of this facility. Pretty as a postcard, too. Sorry, fellas. She's married. To science.
And why else would she be in a portrait with him? They are, after all, something you usually only get with family members and loved ones.
Well, Cave Johnson did just say that she's the backbone of this company. And Cave Johnson knows that, you know, like, oh hey, women can do science too. Yay! And, you know, I don't really think it's more of, like, he's, like, saying, that he's attracted to her. I think it's more of him saying, like, hey, she's a smart lady, and I'm acknowledging her intelligence. And yeah, she's pretty too, but sorry guys, she's married to science. I mean, and hell, that's why they have a picture together, because, as, you know, he even said, she is the backbone of this company. Like, she is essentially, at least, if not the head researcher, one of the head researchers. Especially when you take into account that, you know, Aperture Science was essentially going under, so yeah, pretty much everyone is a researcher. And in being one of the, either the or one of the head researchers, you know, she may have, you know, a large shareholder stake in the company, as well as being one of the researchers, so yeah, he's gonna, like, definitely have a, you know, a portrait done with him and her, to say, like, hey, we are the faces of Aperture Science.
A man who spends every waking hour at work, and an attractive woman who is also spending a great deal of time at work, leads to a game of hide the sausage. I just want you to take that in for a moment. There used to be a time when the stigma of having a child outside of marriage would be something you'd be ashamed of. I don't think it means anything now, as we're about 2 weeks away from being able to marry a horse, because the idea of marriage has become so watered down, it's worthless now. Plus, if the affair of Cave Johnson and Caroline happened in modern day Britain, it would be considered rape. I'm not bullshitting you. Never mind, I'm not really mentioning that English law states only a man can really be classed as a rapist, a fucking disgusting fact in itself. But England's stance of men are guilty until proven innocent would mean that Cave Johnson would be thought of as a dirty rapist. Fuck you, British law, Cave's not a rapist. Maybe someone can explain to me, do we turn to video games because the world is turning to shit? Or is the world turning to shit because we turn to video games?
Okay, all the crap you just said aside, yeah. Honestly, if they're two adults and they're consenting, what happens after, they should know what happens after, because, I mean, hell, for me it was, what, sixth grade? So I would have been, 12 years old when, like, not really exactly the birds and the bees, it was more of the anatomical understanding of different parts. I have to be careful about what I say, because, I don't want to anger the YouTube gods. Yeah, but thing is, we're nearly 6 minutes into the video. That's, barely 4 minutes left, and you have yet to answer the question of how is Glados Chells' mother and father. As I said before in what was it, the second Wild Wednesday one I did on Proto Mario, I'm not one to talk to anyone else about rambling on forever. But I mean, if you're going to answer a question, first answer it, then make your point. Don't just ramble on for 10 minutes and then go, okay, yeah, I made my point. Wait, hold on. When the hell did you make your point? Make your point already!
Enough about the Communist Republic of Britain. We've established the strongest candidate for Chells' father is Cave, and most likely mother is Caroline. So what do we know about Caroline? Sadly, only that she was Cave's assistant and most likely Chells' mother, and that her name Carolyn is said to mean free man in the old Germanic language. I shit you not. So those who tried to shoehorn in Half-Life 3 confirmed connection in the comments, there's all the ammo you need. Think of it as an early birthday present from your old mate Roley.
No, there's never going to be a Half-Life 3. Get used to it. As I said, nobody at Valve knows what comes after 2.
So where does Glados fit into all this, and how can she be both Chells' mother and father? Okay, so Caroline got put into Glados, as that was Cave's wish when he got ill. Glados got turned on, so logically Caroline is already in there. And we hear the famous bit in Portal 2 where you hear Glados reliving some of Caroline's memories.
Carolyn, why do I know this woman? Did I kill her? Yeah, take the lemons, burn his house down. Yeah. Oh, I like this guy. Burning people. He says what we're all thinking. Goodbye, sir.
But don't forget, the original plan was to have Cave's brain mapped and put into Glados. We all just presumed that he ran out of time and died before they could do that. But just think, who else was feverishly addicted to testing? Yep, that's right, Cave Johnson, the very man who built the company.
Whoa, wait. Hold on just a minute here. When was it established that Cave Johnson wanted his brain mapped into the computer? Because I remember, as you were saying, I remember, Cave Johnson was sick and, oh, hey, put Caroline in the computer. She's not gonna like that, but it's okay, just do it anyway. I don't remember any part about Cave Johnson wanting himself to be put into the computer, although I could have missed it. I very well could have. Do you have any evidence of Cave Johnson being put into the computer? Because if both he and Caroline were put into Glados, then yeah, maybe Glados has, in a way, become Chells' mother and father. That is, if mom is Caroline and father is Cave Johnson. Well, let's continue. Let's see what you've got to offer.
My suggestion is that some early effort to map Cave's mind was put into Glados and formed a part of the basic Glados drive of wanting to continue to test in the name of science. So just like Caroline, who surfaced from a deep part of Glados,
the surge of emotion that shot through me when I saved your life taught me an even more valuable lesson. Where Carolyn lives in my brain.
Carolyn deleted.
Goodbye, Carolyn.
Don't worry, I don't think she's really deleted. Cave 2 is in there somewhere, keeping the test running as he planned forever. That's why Wheatley turns evil when he's in the body, and we notice Glados' softer side when she's out of Cave's control. Again, we all overlook the genetic life form part of Glados' name and still think she's just a robot, but there's good reason she says you killed me. It's because she's alive. She's like any other animal. She's not just a programmable robot or something grown in a petri dish. Glados is a living organism made from the memories of Cave Johnson and Caroline. That's the huge clue Portal games hang under your nose. Caroline and Cave, the man who wanted to cheat death, are still alive. They're doing what they did before, working in science without limits, together now, forever.
Is that so? No, I don't think so. I think, Glados is definitely Caroline. That is kind of, spelled out. very, very obviously. But Cave Johnson as well? No, I don't think so. Unless, of course, you're trying to point out something else. I mean, we've got 2 minutes left to go, so let's see if you got any other evidence that Cave Johnson's brain was actually mapped inside of Glados as well as Caroline.
So there we have it. Glados is both Chells' mother and father. Case closed. If you want to get a third Portal game, try to get this on Valve's radar by sharing it with your friends. And if you're a Billy No Mates, well, fucking go out and make friends, you loser. That bit at the beginning about making a video and deleting it because not enough people will watch it isn't a joke either. Originally, this video started with an untold story style recap of events, then went on to discuss quite a few theories and fan questions. But seeing as you made it here to the end, I'll throw them in here as a Roley bonus.
Well, you didn't exactly prove that Cave Johnson was mapped inside of GLaDOS, but, I mean, hell, you know what? Maybe. I'll listen to this. I'll listen to what you gotta say here, and I don't know. I honestly don't know if it'll even be worth it. At least it's barely a minute left, so you know what, I'll just let you finish up.
Here's some of those bits overly simplified. Doug Ratman is still alive. Cave Johnson could still be alive, not just through GLaDOS. The time between events in Portal 1 and 2 could be as little as a year, and the people in stasis are the Aperture employees for Portal 1, then the top tier professionals like astronauts in Portal 2.
Okay, I guess, yeah. But, okay, so let's see, who is Doug Ratman? What? Who? Again, it's been so long since I played the games, I could be missing something, but who the hell is Doug Ratman? Was he someone for Aperture, Black Mesa, or wait, hold on, is that the crazy dude from the comics who like heard voices from the companion cube? Maybe. I mean, hell, there's another theory I can get to work on later regarding specifically the companion cube, but that's gonna be at least a little while before I get to that. Yeah, as for Cave Johnson somehow still being alive and not just like not copied over to GLaDOS, but actually being alive somewhere, I don't know, unless he has some kind of, like, let's say a paradox-proof room, I don't really see how Cave Johnson is still alive. Yeah, I mean, you know, the timeline between events less than a year? Yeah, I could definitely see that, but, I mean, it doesn't quite answer the question of how in the hell did Chell even get into that room, unless, well, I mean, Wheatley does, kind of spontaneously activate, I guess you could say. And, yeah, maybe instead of an AI program that put Chell into that room, maybe there's some kind of VI program that cleaned up the mess or not exactly cleaned up, just kind of swept everything into one place and then covered it all up. And then eventually when GLaDOS gets reactivated, GLaDOS fixes everything up and cleans up the giant mess. But yeah, you didn't really have any evidence supporting that Cave Johnson was put inside the computer that eventually became GLaDOS. I mean, I do see your point that, like, Cave Johnson and Caroline, whatever her name was, Cave and Caroline were, spending so much time together that, yeah, maybe they, maybe they had a little sheet music and then had a child afterward, and, I don't know. Depending on, like, what time period the Aperture Science was supposed to be running, maybe having a bastard child is, viewed in a bad light. I mean, hell, if something like that happened today, people would just go, yeah, whatever. They, had a bit of fun, and now they have a child. But anyway, that's the end of Roley's video, and, well, he does have, like, a full minute for an end card. Well, whatever. That doesn't matter. You know, I'll get this edited together, and, well, hopefully I'll start to be able to get ahead of the curve by, well, a bit further than where I am right now. Okay. So, before I wrap things up, just, once again, do not harass Roley with what I have said in this installment of Wild Wednesday. My comments and my opinions are mine and mine alone. You can talk about whatever you want, whether it's me or whether it's what I said or what Roley said. You can talk about whatever you want down in the comment section. Hell, you can even let him know that I've done a commentary on him, but do not harass him with what I said. Just let me be the only person to take the heat for what I said. And also, if you have an idea for a video that can be featured in a Wild Wednesday, post it in the comments below. I'll give it a review and possibly sometime in the future do a commentary on it. So, anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, hit that bell so you can always be notified whenever I upload another video. And of course, have fun.